All right, fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net, and to our Patreon patrons, thank you for your patronage. To our Twitch Prime members who link their Amazon Prime account, thank you for getting Amazon to pay us. That helps. And to our YouTube subscribers, thank you for subscribing. To all the rest of you cheap bastards who are seeing this a week late or later, please follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. Today's question from Sifted from Zet Saber. In a previous episode of Pachter Factor, I brought up the idea of Sony releasing 2 SKUs of PS5 at different price points so that consumers have more choice. Initially, you were against the idea due to production complexity and confusing the consumer. With Sony revealing the digital-only version of the PS5, has your mind changed at all? What's your updated take on PS5 now that it's been fully unveiled? Thanks. That I think Sony is just lame, to be honest with you. And I think the digital-only version, unless it is materially cheaper than the standard edition, is a mistake. So the question is, what does a Blu-ray drive cost? And the answer is maybe $20. So what the hell is Sony gaining? Now, I think Sony may plan to sell the digital edition for $100 cheaper. So I think that they may launch the PS5 at $500 and the digital only at $400, figuring that over your life, you're gonna buy 10 games and they're gonna make an extra, because they get the retail margin. They're gonna make $18 per game, $180, instead of $12 per game, $120. So they'll get 60 back. That might be what they're thinking. That's not enough. Like 60 isn't 100. So if they discount by 100 and they only make 60, they're really blowing it. If they discount by 50, so for $449, and they make 60, then it's a push. What's the point? Because if you buy the one with the disc, you might actually download as well. So they're not really making 60, they're probably making 30. So I personally think as a business move, it's lame. I think it's going to flop. I think that retailers are going to get pissed at them. And if you notice, when Microsoft did the digital edition Xbox One, it came out in like 2019 or something. I don't think it was even 2018, but it was at the earliest, it was 5 years after the console launched, and they didn't piss off retailers. Sony is going to piss off retailers from day one. And I could actually see a GameStop saying, you know what, we're not carrying your digital edition. Now, maybe not GameStop because they're so close to bankruptcy that they need the sales. But realistically, they could pull that off. They could tell Sony, we're not selling a digital edition. You want to sell them on your website. We're not carrying it. I actually would not be surprised if Best Buy and Target told them they're not carrying it either. So I personally think it's a dumb idea. I know it was your idea, and I'm sure Sony adopted it because they watch Pachter Factor and you suggested it. But it's a dumb idea. And if it's $100 cheaper, they're not making any money doing it. They're pissing off retailers. If it's $50 cheaper, they're breaking even at best. And as a consumer, if you have a digital edition and your friend has a physical edition and he has a physical disc, how does he bring his game over and play it at your house? Like, it's just lame. It's a mistake. So do I think it's a good idea? No, bad idea. What's my impression of the PS5 now that it's been fully unveiled? I think it looks great. I'm a fan of the design. It's pretty. The controller, I personally kind of like the more squared off controller. It looks good. I didn't hold one. I'd like to see one. Too bad there's no E3. I would have liked to hold one. I'm a big fan of the Xbox controller because I have gigantic hands. My hands actually get sore after about 20, 30 minutes. In PlayStation games, I literally have to pause them and shake my hands out every 20 minutes. It drives me crazy. It's too small for me. So I'm hopeful it's bigger. I like the console. The gameplay footage looked fine. What I expected. And I think the company's doing everything right. We'll see if they do pricing right, with the exception of the digital edition is dumb. Okay, fellow babies, thanks for your patronage on Patreon. Thanks for linking your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel, and thank you for following me on Twitter. We'll see you next time.